kind of go through the agenda as best we can. Really can't call to order, but no need to approve the agenda. Treasurer's report, Sue's not here either.
She's not here, but she wanted me to note that the ending balance is $672,973.37. And that she wanted it noted that the committed capital items have been added.
Okay, we'll make it public comments for items not on the agenda. Open that up to anybody. Friends of the library are actually on the agenda, so Greg, anything that you wanted to bring out?
No.
Okay. We'll move down to downtown development plan. Mark did include a downtown development authority draft, the draft development plan, so we can read that at our leisure, and we'll maybe discuss that, at the next meeting as far as projected plans and some of the priorities that we went through. I think that was like in March that we kind of reviewed that. South Monroe parking lot. Greg, maybe you could update us on that. That's got some gravel on that, and the building's been torn down, and we're gonna wait till spring to do the actual grading and all that. So.
Correct. The Boy Scouts were very helpful, and instead of needing their 30 days notice, they were out in 3 or 4 days, and the city promptly got the building knocked down. Did a great job. The temporary parking lot is in. It's working very well. The new restaurant, the Main Street Barbecue, their employees are parking around the corner a little bit along the edge of King Milling's parking lot, which leaves the new lot available for customers of the barbecue and the other buildings on that block. So it's working very well, and was a huge help, and thank you very much for making that happen.
Okay, and again, thank Greg for starting all that too, and developing the old Moose building, buying that. I don't have any information on the City of Lowell redevelopment liquor license approval or anything at all, so that's, I don't know, Mark wanted us that's kind of old business that, I think we talked about that last time, that that was just one more step that we thought that the DDA didn't feel like, the liquor approval process, that we didn't need to get our okay on that at all, or stamp of approval. So maybe Jim has some insight on that.
I'd just say that at the last council meeting, the city council adopted a process that the staff provided so that it'll make everything easier. But anyway, because before this, we didn't have a actual checklist of items, and so it'll that was shared by Mark, and the city council approved that. So it'll make moving forward with redevelopment liquor license much easier. So
Good. Okay.
We're good.
Great. Thanks a lot. Okay, Joy and Linda, Friends of the Library, funding for their reading walking garden. So you may approach the podium if you want. We can hear you from the table there too if you want, Joy. It's up to you, whatever you're comfortable.
All right. As Jim said, I'm Joy Smith, and I'm president of the Friends of the Library. Perhaps some of you remember back to 1994, when 7 people, the only members of the Friends of the Library, raised lots and lots of money to build a new library. So we have all this gumption, we have a lot of enthusiasm when it comes to a project. And luckily, last summer, we were invited to attend the Riverwalk Revising Committee. And we sat there and we listened for many, many sessions, and then we saw at the bottom, down here right in front of the library, is a reading garden. Well, that excited all of us that we're ready to build a reading garden. We have done some research. We've gone to MSU Extension. We think we would work with MSU Extension as well as master gardeners and so forth in planning the garden. We even have the middle school chess club ready to give us some money that they're going to put in a marble chess set and benches in the front of the garden. So this is all going in, hopefully, in front of the library as soon as we can go. But what we're asking you to do is we would like to ask your help in revising the parking lot. I don't know if you've all seen this particular map. I have a couple of these if you're not familiar with this.
Maybe just, you can give it to, one of us, and then we'll give it to Sue, and then she can maybe make copies for the rest of the people that are here, but yeah, that's one is good.
But according to the plan, there is to be some revised parking spaces. We're going to lose apparently 2 parking spaces. But the parking is going to be very close to Avery Street. And we understand that Avery Street is going to be a project of yours next year in revising that and so on. And we wondered if possibly that could be tied in with redoing the parking spaces. So all we're really asking of you is, could you please pursue the revised parking lot? And we will go ahead and raise funds. We already have some funds in the library, in the bank, to pursue the things that we need for the reading garden.
Okay, yeah, this is the first time I've seen that, Joey, so if we can, we'll present that to the rest of the board once we have, I'm not absolutely positive what the reconfiguration of Avery Street is going to be. I know Monroe Street is thinking about going one way, so that will maybe change the flow of the traffic, so we'll definitely keep that in your idea into consideration when they come up with a plan for that, okay?
That's pretty cool. Really?
Okay, Linda, you want to add anything at all?
Well, I kept on my husband Dave Austin, and he sent me the preliminary opinion of probable cost and phasing plan. And that section of it, revised library parking, was going to be about $56,000 out of the total project of $1,939,000. Because he said, well, they're going to ask you what it costs. I don't know what it costs, and so he let me know. So, that's part of it.
What was the total price tag there?
$1,939,000.
Okay.
And this was the Lowell Stage and Showboat Master Plan of 2014.
Okay.
Where's most of that money coming
Where is it
You.
coming from? You.
Generous
No, I
donation.
don't really know. Were you involved at all in the whole process?
from? No, I was wondering where the money comes from for that. The DDA is certainly not putting up 100.
No. $1 million? No.
So it's got to be coming from.
Well, they haven't written grants or anything funding yet,
That's for the whole showboat.
Right, it's the whole, this whole
Yeah.
thing.
That's not just for their,
No.
garden.
Oh my gosh. It would be
It's underground.
What's that?
Avery Street was 56,000. I think.
Yeah, that's it. Did I not speak up loud enough? Sorry.
Yeah, this whole plan, Brian, they were estimated to be $1.2 million. And Cliff said Showboat. It does not include Showboat at
Oh,
all.
sorry.
That's just, that was.
Riverwalk.
Correct.
Right.
The stage itself was projected to be over $550,000.
So if the street's 56,000, how
Right.
much is the parking?
The
No,
par-
We're talking
It's
about
not the street,
parking lot.
the parking lot.
The
Because
parking
they're
lot
gonna
is
be working on
56.
that block of Avery next spring, we thought, hey, that's right next to the parking lot. Could they just roll that right into that part of the project? And that, I don't believe that street renovation that's something the city is doing, correct?
Yes.
Right. So we just thought if you guys could push it a little bit.
Yeah, just kind of coordinate that
Yeah.
with what the library would like to do, it just kind of makes sense. Right.
Anything to improve the downtown.
And this plan was phased. I mean, we've got another, you guys haven't seen this. Don't remember it, huh?
Well, I think we remember it.
Well, anyways,
Get to our age.
there,
His age.
Brian,
The senior member of the
he's younger than
He's
I
got to
am.
be like 4 months. You don't have the tapes.
But there was another piece to this that phased it all out, so you could do it in stages.
Okay, Chamber of Commerce, excuse me, funding for marketing and
Do you wanna
Christmas.
listen
You
to
can
me,
make your
or-
pitch here, as long as you're here. And then we'll just-
Well, we'll start with the marketing fund.
It's in your packet, so.
Yep, it's pretty much the same as we've done in years past. We've been doing, marketing now for about 5 years, and it was all kind of modeled around Lowell, the next place to be. And we applied for money from the DDA as well as the Lowell Area Community Fund. And the community fund this year did confirm that they would give us the $30,000 that we actually asked for $45,000 from them, but they gave us $30,000. So we're asking for the DDA for $25,000. And the money's to be spent on cable, radio, online marketing, digital and static billboards, promotional items, supplies, and the local currency program that we just unrolled called Lowell Bucks. Marketing is one of those things it's hard. I mean, is it working? Is it not working? All I can say is that, the merchants are happy with what we're doing. I mean, we're just really keeping Lowell out there for people to remember us, know we're there. That's the whole idea behind this marketing plan. Cliff, did you want to add anything? Cliff has been the person that's in the past who's kind of representing that. He's on our committee.
Well, I mean, these guys have all heard me
I know, they've heard
speak in
you
favor of
many
it.
times, right?
Because, I mean, speaking as a mom and pop shop, I certainly can't afford any radio or TV ads. So anything I can latch onto that exposes the greater Grand Rapids area or Ionia or wherever to help bring people downtown is beneficial to me. So that's one reason that I've always been in here trying to convince Dean to.
How do you benchmark whether that's the most successful way that you're doing? The way you're doing it is the most successful way.
That's a hard thing.
That's-
I don't know.
It-
It's got to be something.
I think the only real gauge that we have, because when we spend the money, it's mainly around the community events. It's around Riverwalk, it's around Christmas through Lowell. And so the gauge there, I mean, I know we all keep our ears tuned for people to, if they mention, they heard something on the radio or they heard it on we
See it on the cable channels, that sort of thing,
Yeah.
because it's pretty far reaching as far as the cable that we run. I mean, We're on different, like the food channel and those sort of things. We're putting our ad out there for Lowell. One of the things we did last year is we went ahead and did a huge electronic billboard campaign. We spent $5,000 just on electronic billboards for Christmas in Lowell, and the response was overwhelming. So we're planning on doing that again this year. And those billboards are in the Grand Rapids area. They're strategically placed by shopping areas, and I mean, Christmas in Lowell is definitely a shopping extravaganza. And it doesn't just affect the 45 stops that are on, you know, the Christmas through Lowell tour. It hits the restaurants, the gas stations, the fast food places. I mean, if you were to ask any of the restaurants for that weekend, they're slammed. And I mean, we're bringing in thousands of people into Lowell to shop that weekend, and it works. So if we're not marketing, we're not going to get those kind of people.
The direction I was kind of heading to was that one of the gauges I use is I continue to see new people, like the girls' night out. How many years have we been doing that? Two a year for 7 years?
At least.
Or 8. And there's still people that, I mean, we had, last fall, there was a group that came up from Kalamazoo. It's kind of fun. There's some, like 8 or 10 ladies will pile into a van from kind of far away, and they'll make the trip because they've heard about it. And that's what I see as the most exciting result of the marketing for me, is when it's not just the same people, you know, coming in that were there every time. We're getting new people. And
There is a sheet too in there, Brian, just from, you know, I titled it Words of Support, and it's from some of the businesses and the organizations along Main Street. Love to see more people respond to that, but, you know, sometimes we ask and this is what we get, you know. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. So we're asking for $25,000. I know that it was budgeted in the DDA's money for marketing, and it really is an overall marketing. I mean, it's not specific to one business. We're trying to market Lowell for the good of everybody here.
Okay. Was that the same we gave last year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Can't formally take any action today at all, but this will be food for thought for the next meeting, and when we can formally approve it. I'd like to encourage you, if there is a way to measure sometime in the future, to answer the Dean Lennox and, you know, the questions, you know, how do you measure the value of this? If there is something out there in the future, whether it's, you know, some kind of app and stuff like they use for Art Prize, you know, that's always a possibility too, if you can, you know, have people download some stuff on their phones if they're here. And maybe, you know, maybe vote for the best storefront or something like that. Maybe you can get some kind of response that you can kind of measure, you know, how many people are there. So,
Back to back, $6,200 for Christmas. Christmas festivities, let's go back over the history of that. The DDA really has funded this since I began at the chamber, and, you know, that's like 21 years ago. So, the chamber didn't have any money when I first started. I mean, there was no money, it wasn't in existence. So we came to the DDA all those years ago and asked them to fund that, because we think that that's a great activity for Lowell and the community. And, you know, that's where it's at. And, you know, the budget is pretty much the same. We do decorations, we pay Santa's wages, we give prizes out for the parade, and we provide like a month and a half of activities and Santa visits on the Lowell Shovel. And it's become a great tradition, and people enjoy coming back every year and finding their picture on the shovel. So that's what that's for.
Great, any questions for Liz at all? Okay, next item on the agenda, anything else for the reports and member comments, anything anybody want to bring up? What?
I'm good.
Right? Okay, hopefully we'll have a quorum for next meeting in November, so we can vote on some of this. Okay?
What
You
would
know
be
what
the
the
date?
date is?
I don't know off the top of my head, Sue.
I don't have my calendar on me.
If things come up, we can vote by, or does it have to be?
Yeah. The first Monday there.
Might be November 12th, now that I'm thinking about it.
Are you sure? Isn't it the first month?
It's the first
Thursday
Thursday after the first
Maybe
Monday.
the 5th of November.
Sunday is the first,
Okay,
so it'd be like it's the first Monday, it would be
Be the 5th.
5th. Sunday's the first. And Halloween's a Saturday this year.
it is.
That works out good.
So it'll be early November, okay? So we'll go ahead and adjourn, since we don't have a quorum, we don't need a motion for that. So.